All right, let's go back to the Lone Star State on the right side of DFW in Fort Worth and talk to Ashley. What's up, Ashley?
Well, I didn't grow up in Texas, but I got here as soon as I could.
That a girl. Way to go. Way to go. What's up?
My husband and I were not on the same page about kids anymore, so I wrote in with my question, how do I cope with emotions of fear and anxiety that my husband will not agree to adopt our foster baby?
Do you know for certain he's not going to adopt this baby?
Well, I've always felt that his
Do you know
I don't
for
want to
certain?
have kids attitude is more of, no, I don't know for certain. I think he's more of a maybe. I think he's he can be convinced, and maybe more time and bonding will change his tune. But I feel a sense of guilt because my
I'll change him. I'll change him. I will change him. No woman has ever thought that about a man, ever.
I know, I sound crazy.
And no man has ever been like, no, I for sure told you, whatever the thing is. And I'll change him. So here's, I know, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. You're making me laugh because A, you're awesome, and B, I know your heart is good, and C, oh boy, right? Anytime somebody tells me they are anxious about a potential outcome, I always want to default to a very simple yet devastating statement, okay?
Okay.
It's just a few words. Facts are your friend.
Okay.
So before you get anxious, before you get worked up, before you start creating these narratives about what about this, and I'm going to try this, I'm scheming, you're coming up with all these blueprints about sitting down with him and saying, I need to know right now, will you be willing to adopt this baby?
I'm almost afraid to keep bringing it up.
I know. Okay, why? Is it because you're afraid of being devastated and having to be married to a man that won't see this through with you? Or are you devastated because you know I can't stay in this relationship if this is actually true?
Oh, we're going to stay in the relationship. I know that my marriage is the first priority, and I did go into this foster experience expecting having foster children that would be reunified, and we just didn't expect to get a week-old baby that probably will not be reunified with biological parents and probably will be available for adoption. And it's just, I'm in love with this baby, and my husband's his intention is not to adopt. He just says, you're doing a bait and switch. We were going to foster only, but my heart has changed.
Have you said that exact word, that exact phrase?
No.
That's the phrase that needs to be spoken. Because bait and switch is an accusation that you lied to me you tricked me. That's very different than my heart has changed. I held a little baby and everything's different now. So here's a good example. In my house, this is not for everybody. This is just for me, okay? My wife was a stone cold, she still is, but back when we were younger, she was a gangster professional. She's one of the best teachers I've ever seen in my life ever. And I worked alongside teachers my whole career. And then when she transitioned to become a professor, she was unbelievable as a professor, as a researcher, and all that. And she made good money, I made good money, so together we had a good combined income. And so when it came to buying houses and she got pregnant, we're like, we need to get a house and all this. I said, I want to wait until you hold that baby. Because I want our household to be free for you to go, whoa, forget all of this work stuff. I'm staying here. And that didn't happen initially, right? But listen, I waited for that because it wasn't going to be a bait and switch. I wanted to honor her heart wherever that went, and I didn't want to be tied to a stupid mortgage. I'd much rather rent and be in peace, right? So for you, it's not a bait and switch. It's, no, we're going to foster, we're going to foster, we're going to foster. Holy smokes, this baby's mine. That's different. right? But you though have to speak up and be heard, even though the risk is he may look at you and say, "I don't care." No.
He's showing a little bit more favor.
Now you're baiting and switching him. You see? Now you're starting to try to play games so that he'll want to keep this kid. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that.
I don't want to manipulate him.
There you go. And you're starting to be like, well, he's really quiet. I'm going to go hand him to him right now. And I'm going to, don't do that.
Okay. So just describe to him how my feelings have changed, because I used to not want kids either. Mm-hmm. But it's like after I turned 35, it just I feel like it's changing in me.
Sure. And listen, I think you are really honoring how he feels. And you're really honoring his original commitment, which is, I don't want kids. What you're not doing is honoring how you feel on an equal playing field. And you deserve to be honored in the exact same way. And so in the same way that he is making his feelings very clear to you, you have a right as a co-creator of that household to state out loud, my heart has changed. And I didn't want kids forever. And then I held this baby. And it's different now. And you and him are then going to have to make a decision on what moving forward looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably won't be fun, and that probably won't be pleasant, or it might be wonderful. Who knows? Who knows?
Is there anything I can do to help him be more open to the idea? Because he doesn't want me to quit my job. I'm not even approaching that yet. But
is that in your soul? Like if he came to you tonight and said, "Hey, I've been thinking, I want to adopt this baby. I want you to stay at home. I want you to be a full-time stay-at-home mom and take care of this kid." Would that lift your spirits?
Oh, I'd love that. I'm feeling like so stressed because I'm not giving a great performance at work and trying to do both. And my mind's focused on this 3-month-old baby and my husband's feelings. So yeah, I don't even care about work anymore.
Do you hear who just got buried there? My work sucks. I got to take care of this baby, and I got to take care of my husband.
You're right.
And so I'm going to take me and put her in a concrete box and bury her in the backyard until this whole thing blows over at age 18. And that's when couples wake up and realize, I don't know you anymore.
Mm.
The only path forward is honesty and vulnerability. And the sucky thing about honesty and vulnerability is you can get really, really hurt. Because you can say, my heart changed, and he can say, I don't care. And now what was an issue about being parents is now an issue of, I am married to a man that thinks so little of my heart changing that I'm frozen forever. Y'all have to deal with that. The same way that he's going to have to deal with, my wife made some ironclad commitments to me, and her heart changed. No fault of her own, but it changed. And so what else has changed? What else might change in the future, right? It's unnerving too. That's true. But not saying those things out loud as a couple, dude, secrets destroy relationships.
Yeah, but it is the fear that has been making it swirl in my head and not come out in conversations. So
that's right.
I hear you. It's the honesty is I need to be more direct and honest.
And usually one of two things are at play here. That you've been spending so much time in other people's heads, and you have experienced your first couple of months of life with an infant, and so you are so sleep deprived that it's just hard to kind of filter reality a little bit. Or you know exactly what's going to happen to your relationship if you are totally vulnerable and honest.
he's not going to depart. I do feel off kilter, like this baby brain feeling of confusion sometimes, but I do believe he's there for me, and I just need to take that leap of faith.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Remember, all relationship is a risk. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can be married 2 months. You can be dating 2 weeks. You can be married 70 years. It's always a risk when you go all in and tell the truth. With your spouse, with your kids, with your employer, all relationship is a risk. It's hard, scary.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not having this conversation so that you can trick him or convince him. This conversation is so that you can put all your cards on the table. You can open your hands up and say, I'm being fully present. I'm being here. And my heart's changed. I love that. I love that, the sentiment of that. I love that statement. My heart's changed. That's a powerful, powerful statement. I'm different now. And I'm hoping you'll come on this adventure with me. And possibly even be honest and then say, I know this is a lot. And so let's reconvene in a week. Let's reconvene in 10 days. We don't have to do it all right now because I want to give you some time to process and think through it. But there's no bait and switch here. I didn't trick you. My heart changed. Things are different now. And as somebody who's co-creating a life with each other, with you, you got to know all of it. Start there. Let us know how that conversation goes, and we'll be thinking about you. That's a tough one, tough one, tough one. And by the way, thank you for being somebody who fosters little babies. You are the unsung heroes of our communities and our neighborhoods and our states and our country. Amazing, amazing.